Player 2 has joined the game.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 328 of the Two Player Co-op Podcast. As always, I'm one of your hosts here, Kevin, along with my brother from my mother, Sean.
How we doing?
Fantastic. And if you did not know, this podcast is brought to you by Derek Bamford. Guys, John Tingley, who has a bar named after him, let's figure out this bonus episode thing because we're about due for another one. Let's work something out. I had an idea for one for Sean and I, Sean and me and Sean, for me and Sean, Sean and me, either way.
I and Sean.
Yeah, for I, Captain.
I had a pony.
I had a pony. If this is the first time you're ever seeing, hearing, or listening to us, this is the Two Player Co-op Podcast. Where just about every week, except for last week, two brothers get together to tell you everything you need to know about in the world of video games. If you like that, make sure to like the video, subscribe, share it with your friends, family, and everyone in betwixt. If you only listen on audio services, that's cool too. Just give us a 5-star review, thumbs up, or whatever your service allows. If you really like us, you can go to patreon.com/2playercoop, where we have a lot of different tiers. But our most popular is the $5 producer tier, which lets you watch us record the podcast live on YouTube as we are doing right now. You can also get access... Right now. Bonus episode every month. And you get the podcast live one day early on YouTube if you miss us record. Some of our patrons deserve shout-outs, just like our patron saints. You know, we never changed the website to actually say patron saints, but that's way better than whatever we have.
We got to do that.
Derek Bamford and John Tingley, the aforementioned. It sounds like a Final Fantasy boss. As well as our affiliates, James Solar. Make sure you check out James Games and more on YouTube. Sarah Solar and Mom. Whoops, kicked the table. That probably sounded funny. As well as our producers, Steve Appleton, Aunt Sue, Dustin Downs, and Chris Peralta. I just realized I don't. What the hell did I say before producers? As well as?
I have no idea.
I do a segue without there being a segue. Because I'm thinking back to when I say some of our patrons deserve a shout-out. As well as... I think I say as well as. But you can't start a sentence with as well as...
No.
If you like cool t-shirts and the like, you can go to teespring.com/store/2playercoop. We took last week off because it was July 4th. And there was basically nothing to talk about. And this week, there's still not much to talk about. Probably going to talk about Final Fantasy a lot.
No spoilers.
Sean has progressed in there quite nicely, I would say, to say the least. But do you have any other witty banter, Sean? Why did that get to you? Oh, you just went in your head, didn't you? Sean, do you have any witty banter? Okay, so the story, if you're not on YouTube, you should go to YouTube just for this.
I couldn't even do it.
After I picked my kids up from camp a few weeks ago, we stopped at Wendy's to get lunch, and my oldest son, Noah, was in the bathroom. And I know he loves bacon cheeseburgers. Hey, John. Sean's dying right now. He loves bacon cheeseburgers, so I was like, oh, yeah, Baconator. But then I remember the Baconator has some kind of weird sauce on it or something, and he's like me. He likes just ketchup and cheese and bacon. He's very plain. So it's our turn to order, and I go up there. And I'm like, hey, can I take your order? I'm like, yeah, I think the Baconator, it comes with some kind of like special sauce or something. Can you tell me, do you know what comes on the Baconator? And then the man looks me dead in the eye and just goes, and shrugs his shoulders and just stares at me.
There's just a staring contest between you two.
And I'm like, okay, so I guess I'll just get a Dave's double with bacon and cheese and ketchup only, please. But ever since Sean has heard this story now, he just randomly, he thinks of times when he can do the shrug.
But then I think about it. As soon as I'm like, I'm going to do that, I think about it constantly. And there's just no way for me to do it and keep a straight face.
He just stared at me.
Oh, God. Anyway, there's your witty banter.
Yeah, so we got some witty banter in there. Sean.
Yeah.
You want to do Rogue first? Then we can both go forever on Final Fantasy.
I got one before Rogue.
Oh.
I kind of told you about it, but I randomly...
I think I already forgot.
So I finished a game.
We'll get to that in a second.
And then I'm like, well, I want to play something else. Well, so I guess that was when I played Rogue.
Yeah.
But anyways, then I wanted to just play something else. Oh, I know what it was. It was because this guy I watch on YouTube, he does a lot of Mario Maker stuff, but he also does some other stuff. Nope.
That's not it?
Nope.
Okay. I can't remember what it is then. It is a platformer. Then.
He would... Nope.
Nope. Nope. What, Sean?
He randomly decided for the first time ever to play through the original NES Zelda.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
He had never played it before, but was, big into Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom and all that. So he did a series where he was just playing through it, totally blind, no guide, no nothing. And then he was also challenging himself to beat it without getting any extra heart containers, blah, blah, blah.
You have to get the first one.
You have to get... I don't even think it was the first one. I think it was the second one.
I thought it was the first one you can't walk by.
Maybe. It was an early one. It was... Oh... That's right, because he also didn't really do the levels in order, because he just showed up at one, was like, I guess I'll do this. So yeah, I think it was the second level he did, which was probably the first level. Anyway, so that reminded me that I had my little Zelda, what's it called, the Game & Watch thing. I was like, I want to try playing through Second Quest again. I've done it once with all sorts of save states and stuff.
I still don't think I've ever beaten it, because I was doing it on my Game & Watch, and I got to like Dungeon 6 on an airplane going somewhere, and I was like, I can't do this anymore, especially because I didn't have internet to look up exactly what to do.
I'm surprised you made on the Master Quest.
Yeah,
that's impressive. So I'm doing it full on cheating. Like
literally the worst way to play that game. That sounds horrible. That's why everybody bags on the first one, because if you don't know what you're doing or you don't look up a guide, you're lost.
So there's an easy cheat you can do where you just start with all...
What is the cheat?
You literally, at the character select screen or whatever, you just hold A.
Oh my God.
And then it'll go... Or, some kind of Zelda sound. And then when you start, you have all of your hearts. Like all 16 hearts, I think.
16.
So I basically got the magical sword, and, so whatever. And I'm looking up maps and stuff, but I'm not doing it with you can't do save states, obviously, but I'm still kind of cheating. It is very difficult. I'm to the point, I just finished level 8. I need to now go and do the final level, which I'm just like, I'm not ready to start that.
Before I forget, it was not on my Game & Watch. It was on my 3DS, because I was doing save states.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what it was. Okay.
That makes more sense. Yeah, I've been playing that. I did check out Rogue Legacy. Two. I have fallen head over heels in love with
ass
this game.
Over tea kettle.
It is exactly like
a palate cleanser.
It is possible that when done right, roguelikes, whatever it is, might be my favorite genre. It used to be like Metroidvanias. I think these might have overtaken it when they're done well. Everybody loves Dead Cells. Never really clicked with me. But like, I loved Hades. I loved, as much as it frustrated me, Returnal. But like, this is perfect. It's beautiful, buttery smooth controls. Like, so much, like every single run is different. All the classes you can get, all the different like bonuses that are like random, that hey, you've got this that's going to go wrong, but you'll get extra gold to make up for it, and all these kinds of stuff. I've beaten 4 bosses. I've gotten to the 5th one 3 or 4 times, and I can't get him down like halfway.
When you
he
beat
keeps
a boss,
smoking me.
Oh wait, but they stay dead.
They stay dead, yeah. And it's not exactly linear,
right?
So like, there's the first area, and you can go
down.
Basically, it's like 1, 2, 3, and then 4 comes off of 1, 5 comes off of 2, and 6 also comes off of 1. So if you want, so I'm basically in world like biome 5 now, and I can run through 1 and 4 and 2 and 3 if I want, just to like try to get some bonuses along the way and whatever. Or I can just like teleport right to biome 5 and just start there. But
the teleports stay too.
It's something you can unlock.
Okay.
There's like somebody you meet, and you can like pay her like 1,500 gold to to make it so you can teleport right there. So there's like a teleport at the beginning of each of the biomes that you can like make permanent, so you can skip right there if you want. So I'm loving it.
By the way, my kids are having a sleepover. They're playing basketball outside. So if you hear screaming, everyone's okay. Unless a cat starts screaming again, and I have to go run up there to save Smokey. But continue.
But yeah, I'm hooked on that. I don't know much about the platinum. There's not even like a guide for it. But I looked up the trophy list, and it's like,
well, and it also just came to PlayStation. So
that's true.
You could probably look up. You could look up in a cheat.
Did it just come to PlayStation when it showed up in PS Plus?
Correct. It was day and date.
Oh, okay. Well, no wonder then.
Power Picks will definitely do one.
They have to. But yeah, I'm hooked. I'm loving it. And that's.
What is your favorite class so far? Because you've unlocked a lot more than I did.
Yeah, the Archer was my favorite in the beginning, but I feel like I like it, but I feel like it's better early on when you can like see an enemy and just pew, and like kind of pick them off, and pew, just play it safe. But later on, the enemies get tougher to where it's, I don't know, it's better to just get a melee and just get up and get them.
Get up and get them.
I like the Valkyrie.
Yep.
Because she can stab up and down. There's another guy, like a dragon lancer or something like that.
I don't think I've got
He's got like a big spear. He's pretty good. And there was one other one. I don't know. I don't like the gun guy. I don't know if you've gotten him. There's like a boxer. I don't like a lot of them.
That's what I'm saying. And that's why I kind of like it. Almost forces you to play through everything. Like you only get to pick from 3, unless you unlock somebody.
Well, and the other thing they do, different classes have different bonuses available. Like it could be strength, vitality,
more
armor,
skill, whatever.
Blah 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 blah. And the more you play with them, and the more you level them up, the bonuses you get by leveling them up apply to everybody.
Oh,
so even if there's one class. It was the Archer. The bonus you get from them is strength. But now that I'm far enough into the game, I don't really like playing as them. But I had a pretty good run with an Archer and leveled them up like 2 or 3 times on one run. So now, anytime I play with any class, they have like an extra 3 strength now than they had before. So yeah, it encourages you to play with all of them because they'll give you different bonuses the more that you play with them, and they apply to everybody. So I don't know. I think it's really cool how they do it. But John
says the boxer seems fun. He's got an uppercut that works great against the diving enemies.
The boxer's not bad. I guess they all are pretty good. I think my least favorite is the gun guy. Oh, the chef. The chef is good.
Really?
He's got a frying pan, and his frying pan like reflects projectiles back.
Oh. Like in Bat Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his triangle, his skill, I guess, whatever they call it, is it's called stew, and he basically just makes some food and he eats it to replenish health.
Oh.
And then there's a thing you can unlock in your skill tree that makes it so anytime you find one of the blue mana potions, it refreshes your skill. And for a lot of classes, that doesn't really do much because it usually refreshes every like 5 or 10 seconds anyways. But with him,
is awesome.
Yeah, the chef, that skill replenishes. You can get up to like 3 charges anytime you pick up an item, a potion or food. So if you pick up food, it'll A, heal you, and B, give you one of your stew charges back.
And that counts as 1 life refill, or you got to have 3 to use it?
It counts as, no, you can use it 3 times. Okay. It's not a full health refill, but it gives you a good chunk. But so once you unlock that, the blue potions that normally would just give you mana, it gives you an extra charge. So you can basically heal a lot with him, so he's pretty good. But yeah, there's only a couple that I just have not clicked, and there's a few that I haven't even played. Like there's the Bard. I don't even know what he does. I guess. There's like an assassin that I just played with the first time, and he seems pretty good, but his weapon's not very long. So I don't know. They've all got their pluses and minuses. There's occasionally you can find these things where you can trade in your weapon or your skill or your magic for another one.
In the world?
In the world, yeah. And if you do that, it'll give you... It basically makes it stronger than it would have been if you had just had that weapon from the beginning. There was one time, and I don't know how, I got... So there's a collection of like special weapons. Mjolnir is one of them.
Nice.
I got that one time, but I got this thing called like the crow wand or crow staff or something, and it just goes and it explodes. I mean, it shoots like a blast out, but while you're holding it, you can just up, down, left, right. You just fly wherever you want on the screen. And there's like a ring around you that anytime you're close enough to an enemy, these like birds come out and it just...
You don't get hit?
Just homes and hits the enemy. I mean, you can get hit, but... And I didn't get that through one of those weapon trades. It's like there must have been something that I started with that was like, I don't know, it just randomly changed your class's starting weapon for that time.
Okay.
And so I started with it, and I have not gotten it again since. But that was awesome. That it's almost like a cheat code to me. So I keep waiting to be able to get that one again. But
do you remember what class?
It's not even a class. It's not even a weapon that, to my knowledge, you can even get from any of the classes. Like Mjolnir, I don't think there's a class that gives you that. I think some of them are just special ones that you have to find.
Okay.
But this one time when I got the crow thing, it was something I randomly started with. So I'm not sure what triggered that, but I keep waiting for that to happen again because that was fantastic. Just being able to like fly everywhere and yeah. But I think you should, when you're done with this game, I think you should play more of it.
I definitely want to get back to it. I mean, I've only played it for... I think it said I played it for 2 hours. I never beat the first boss, but even when I was getting my ass kicked by him, I was like, I love this.
It's so much fun.
It's really fun. I mean, it's a Metroidvania that's also a roguelike.
Yeah.
And I got to at least beat one boss. Like, at least in Returnal, I got past Freaky or Frikey, whatever his name was.
How far did you get? Did you ever...
never beat the second boss.
Really?
And you're like, oh, second boss is easy. I was like, I was finally like, fuck this! I quit!
We never did do multiplayer in that.
Multiplayer. But yeah, cool. I'm glad you're liking it. I figured it'd be right up your alley.
Yeah.
Something else that's right up both our alleys is Final Fantasy XVI, which Sean has now platinumed. You went just balls to the wall.
I went ham
on this game.
Yeah.
You went, like, because I was ahead of you in Tears of the Kingdom, at least hours played.
Yeah.
We both got to the end close to the same time.
Well,
I've had friends
over.
I've
power
lost power
outages.
for like 50 hours total over 2 days. So I'm now very, very, very near the end. So right before you came over, I was working on the side quest to unlock, goddamn, the weapon. And I did because I got through that last thing I told you I got through. And then what
level are you?
44.
Oh, okay.
So I feel like I'm pretty good.
Kevin, I think 40. I think I was 46 or 47
when you beat it.
When I beat New Game. But you can get a lot of experience.
Oh, you don't have to hit level 100?
Mm-mm.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So I'm guessing the cap is 50
it's
for
50,
New Game,
and then it goes up to 100 for New Game.
But even New Game Plus.
You meant New Game, not New Game Plus. Sorry.
New Game, yeah. But New Game Plus, I think I beat it. I didn't get as far. I think 77, 78, somewhere like there. But yeah, for the first game, I think it was like 46, 40. No, maybe 48. I think it was 48. But when you do the hunts, especially like some of them that are like S rank.
Yeah, I beat 2 S ranks getting parts for the weapon. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them. Some of them give a lot of experience,
yeah.
So you can level up pretty quick with those.
But yeah, I couldn't get. I can just say it. Who cares? The Grim Reaper isn't spawning for some reason. And I did under new management too, so I don't know what the heck. That's like the side quest you have to do. And he's not. When I just checked right now, he hadn't spawned. So I went back to the hideaway. I bought some potions, and then I fast traveled. And then I looked at the time. I was like, okay, no, I gotta go. You had issues with that?
I didn't in the first game. The second game, I was just looking up. Because I wasn't trying to do everything. I was trying to focus. And I'm like, all right, I was basically where you're at now. Like, what do I need to do to get that weapon so that I can get Ultimate Weapon? And it said, do
you
this,
don't
this,
carry
this.
that weapon into New Game Plus?
So there's all new weapons.
Okay.
So the God of Damarung is basically all you can get a Götterdämmerung
+1
reforged,
okay.
and you can get whatever they're called, like the Earth Sword +1, and the fire or not reforged, and the Fire Sword reforged, and the Ice Sword reforged, and blah blah blah. So the Götterdämmerung, by the time you get your first or maybe second like reforged weapon in the new game, it's like already stronger than Götterdämmerung. Wow. So you carry it over, but there's no point. You won't use it for very long.
But then, so I got to do the Götterdämmerung again to get Ultima?
There's no trophy for it, but if you want it.
Well, I know, but I still...
Yeah.
If I'm going to play this on New Game Plus, I need all the help I can get.
Yeah.
Okay. But wait, so you did have trouble with him spawning in Game Plus?
So in New Game, I was doing all the side quests as I went through. So I had already done whatever I needed to do for him to show up.
Okay.
In New Game Plus, I wasn't doing all the side quests. And so I saw, here's the hunts you got to do to get this thing, this thing, this thing. But there's like an asterisk, and it says, for this one, you got to make sure you do this quest and this quest in order for him to spawn. And so I did them, but I feel like once I did them, I feel like he was just there. I don't think I had an issue with him spawning, but yeah, I've kind of forgot about that.
Well, and it might just be because I finished the Under New Management 2 thing, because it's in the same area with Isabel. So I did that quest, and then I went over there where he should be, and he wasn't there yet. It was just some Akashic, and I beat him up. I was like, maybe now he'll spawn. Nope, nothing. So I went back to buy the potions, and then I fast traveled, and then I quit. So it might have just been I had to leave.
Maybe you just had to like reload
back.
It. Yeah.
The game ends on a pretty full stop, which narratively won't work. You can, however, load up a previous save and complete any remaining side quests before the last handful of story chapters. Oh God! So I can't beat the game yet. I got to do all my side quests before I do this mission. Because now I got to go to
No, I think it's going to make it to where if you beat the game, when you beat the game, if you load your game back up, the last autosave is basically right before you go there.
Okay.
So
I can go get the goddamn weapon.
Yeah.
I can go beat it, load the save, do all the side quests, get everything, all the trophies I can get, then do New Game Plus. Okay.
Now, what's funny is on New Game Plus, once I beat it on New Game Plus, the only thing I had left for the platinum was to finish the ability.
Yeah.
Maxing out all the abilities.
You said there's a good place to...
Yeah.
Okay.
If you plan correctly, you probably won't have to do that at all. There's like a couple items you want to get. And I was bad. Like I got to the point where I'm like, I don't care. It's not going to make me fight these enemies to get through here. I'm running past them.
I'm doing that now. Yeah.
Yeah. So I beat the game.
Oh, yeah. Last week you were going to beat it once you left. Or not last week, last episode. So we haven't even talked about the ending, spoiler free, of course.
Yeah. So I beat it, and then the trophy popped. I'm like, all right, I don't want to watch these credits. I already know what happens. Just quit, whatever.
New Game Plus?
New Game Plus. Okay. Once the trophy pops, I'm like,
I just want to go back. Credits when I beat it?
You can speed them up somehow, like the right stick or X. Okay. Something will speed them up, but it's still, there's a lot. I'm like, I don't care. I want to go finish my abilities and get the platinum.
Yeah.
When I loaded my autosave, I don't think it even tells you this, or it does and I missed it. There's like another quest that's in that kind of end game area.
Like a red quest?
That starts in like the middle of it. And so it created an autosave there. And once you're there, there's no way out.
Okay.
So I'm like, well, I do not want to go fight the final boss again.
Yeah.
So I was able to I just looked back through the autosaves and found one that was before I went there. But at first I was like, oh God, did I really just do that? Because the final boss took a long time on New Game Plus.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, I love this game. So like I said, I'm near the end. I have not been doing all the side quests like you have. I've started, there's a point in the story if you care. What was for dinner?
We did breakfast for dinner. So I made like scrambled eggs and sausage.
I like that.
How many, do you know how many, that green, the renown or whatever they call it? Do you know how much you have? I want to say you have to get up to like 23 $2,800 or so
Okay, I
to
think
get
I'm around,
all of the.
and that's a trophy, I assume.
Yeah.
I'm around 1,500, I think, 15 or 16.
And if you just do all the hunts and all the side quests, you'll get there.
Yeah.
And then some. Like, you probably technically don't have to do them all.
But there's a trophy for all the hunts.
There's a trophy for doing all the hunts. I don't remember if there's one for doing all the side quests. I don't think there is.
Oh, God, I hope not. Because, again, I missed some at the beginning of the game.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, no, I don't think there... I think what there is the trophy for getting all the renown benefits, prizes, whatever, which is basically by getting all the side quests done. But the ones you skipped weren't giving you renown at the time, so I think you're fine.
Well, so without going into spoilers, I will say one thing. Sean kind of hinted at this last week, and I can now confirm this game has one of the coolest boss fights I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I don't even think the final boss fight can live up to it. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. But you fight... It's not like a spoiler because all the icons are the summonses from other games, right? Like...
Yeah.
What? I like saying
No, I know. It's just when you say... It sounds like... what's his name? Gollum.
I can't do it.
The Parkinsons.
You fight Titan, and Sean alluded to the fact that there's one boss fight in this that is old school God of War, really God of War 3 to a T. It is Titan, and oh my God, it was straight, like you said. It was like as if they were just like, that one fight, you know, with... It's not even the... Well, actually, it is kind of similar. The fight with Kronos, I'll just say that. Not the ripping off the toenail thing. That's horrible. There's nothing like that in this game. Just the size and the scope. And as I was doing this, I was like... Because remember how I was saying, like, this game just bleeds AAA. This game just bleeds money and expertise and just... And that boss fight, I was just like when you're running down the corridor and you dive in and then there's things coming at you and then you jump up and you're running and then you see how small... Oh, my God. It's so cool. I love all the icon fights in this.
I feel like it peaked there, but like the next two were like both still pretty outrageous in their own rights, but nothing.
Yeah, Bahamut was Titan. Cool.
Yeah.
Odin was right up there. That whole, it was more the second time when you're Moses, and I'm like, how did they make this? This game is just crazy. And one of the things I noticed today when I was going through like the in between, you know, he does his little fireball that's like a torch and it follows you around. Yeah. If you just pay attention, just the lighting on that thing and the way it reflects or affects your shadow as you're moving. I'm just like, even little things like that. And I know lighting.
Yeah, just like the flickering of the.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just so cool. But that boss fight against Titan is insane. It goes Tears of the Kingdom a little bit, which was awesome. I wrote here, and I'll say this. Speaking of side quests, some of the side quests are boring as hell. Also, some of the main quests are boring as hell. There are some times where I'm like...
The one that you were talking about, I think it's maybe after Bahamut, when it's like, go here, help them out, go here, help them out, go here, help them out. There's one in particular that was very long. I'm like, oh, I'm done. Oh, no, here comes some more. And I'm like, oh, my God, how many of these enemies are there? Those ones,
at least the ones that have enemies, I'm fine with. It's the ones where it's more like, go over here. You're trying to find a guy by the well. And it's like, that person saw him. Oh, he's not by the well, okay.
Yeah,
when
it's like, go find this person, and they show where they are on the map, I'm like, okay. But when it's just the circle on the map, it's like, go find him somewhere in this area. I'm like...
Hopefully a little exclamation point or a red thing will pop up. Those are annoying. I feel like there's some of the side quests in this, and some of the main quests are just padding, which I don't like. But everything else about the game is so freaking perfect that I really don't care. That was just like... That's my only critique, other than a little bit of the performance stuff, but... You know, they put out that patch 1.03, I think it was, and it didn't mention anything in there about performance fixes, but it seems like the performance mode is more steady now.
Really?
I think, but who knows? Oh, also, I was talking to somebody that they were saying they read somewhere that, because I was like, it's so weird. When I'm just walking around the world when it should be butter smooth, it's not. But then when I'm fighting people, I hate the prostitute missions. Yeah. But when I'm fighting somebody, it's like smooth as butter. And what he said he was reading, he doesn't know if this is true or not. It wasn't like he watched a Digital Foundry video, but he read somewhere that like during the fights, supposedly they actually dropped the resolution because they know there's just everything is going on. So they drop the resolution, but because you're moving around so fast, you can't really tell. It. And then that helps you keep the frame rate at 60 or close to a constant 60. You have to talk to 6 people all over town. See, that's what I'm talking about. This kind of crap where you just walk. I'm like, I'm not like an errand boy. I'm here to save the world. I hope. We'll see. John, did you beat it yet? I can't remember. I got to check our thermostat because I'm getting a little toasty up here. Toasty. Yeah, Sean told me that there was one boss that's Steppenwolf, and I was like, okay. And then I saw him, I was like, I'm at Steppenwolf.
Yeah, there
this
is.
is Steppenwolf. There's dragons in this that are awesome. They pull a Fast and Furious, I'll say that, with one of the boss fights. Did not expect that.
Oh.
Like,
yeah.
What? And then there's a lot of story stuff that I just can't talk about and don't want to talk. I want to talk about, but I won't talk about. Especially as I'm getting closer. The whole thing where the bad guy, I'll just say that he did beat it. Okay, cool. When you're getting near the end and you're in the in-between and he's explaining everything to you, I was like, this is just so freaking cool. And I was like, it kind of makes sense, but I still don't understand. But then they did the thing that I was like, aren't they not supposed to do the thing? But then that was in his mind when they did the thing. They did the Spice Girls 2 Become 1.
Yes.
You know?
So that's why I'm saying
I still do not know what happened at Phoenix Gate. I'm still not supposed to know that. Like why I
didn't
happened.
Either. And
that
I'm
has
trying
not
to
been
think,
explained yet. I don't think.
I don't know that
it.
they ever explicitly say it. I think it's basically
like an out of body experience or something.
Yeah, he just it was him. It wasn't him. Like
right. It's like he was watching it from the outside. Yeah. Well, it's almost like what happened to like
right. Well, yeah, and they say that like if you are not
if you've had
of sound body and mind, you're not going to be able to control these things.
And then
blah,
they do
blah,
what they
blah,
want to do.
So,
yeah. And then like he was asking him at the hub, you know, I've heard that, you know, some people told me that after they lose their mojo, they can still prime. And he's like, yeah, but you might not have any control over what you're doing. Yeah, I don't even know. I just, there's so much I want to say about this. But yeah, I just can't. It's just fantastic. Oh, okay. Let's talk about the Platinum. So other than the big stuff, like New Game Plus, Final Fantasy mode, the weapon, there's a bunch of combat things I have to do, right? Yeah,
but they were all pretty simple.
But I can just do in normal fights. Just set my stuff how I need it to be.
So have you done any of the, what do they call them?
The training rooms, the things out in the world, no.
The stones.
I just found one. I was like, what the hell?
They're like little, not training. They're like
the thing at the hub, right? At the hideaway.
Kind of. That's what they look like. Yeah. Okay. I never used that thing, but it's like little mini challenges. And it's like, okay, you got to use only Garuda. Go beat these enemies. And you're on a timer. Mm. And so it's like hey, if you do this move in this way, you get bonus time. And if you kill a guy like this, you get a few extra seconds. And so you're kind of fighting the clock. It wasn't really that difficult, but
there's a trophy
I started
for
doing
that?
You have to do all of them. It's not, I mean, there's 8 of them.
Oh, okay.
They're not that bad. I mean,
one per, okay.
Yeah. To do all 8 of them, between looking up where they are, going to them, beating them.
An hour?
I think like an hour and a half.
Okay.
They're not too bad. But I was getting some of the combat trophies without even trying, just by doing those, because it forces you.
Oh, no, they don't count in the thing at the hideaway.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, you can look them up. None of them. There was one that was a little annoying.
I don't use any of those abilities.
Yeah.
I haven't even tried because I was like, that all looks
well, yeah,
boring.
There's some that I'm like, I don't even know what this is. It's like, do this 5 times. I'm like, I don't even know what that is.
Right.
So I had to look them up a little bit, but other than that one, none of them are too bad. Basically, you can get to where when you do New Game Plus, you'll probably have to beat a boss without taking damage.
I don't know how I'm going to do that. I really don't know how I'm going to do that.
Beat the game and finish your abilities. Okay. And no, Ultimate Weapon, there isn't a trophy. I think it's just those 3. That's probably all you'll need. If you do it right, that's all you should need to do in New Game Plus. And I would say for the boss thing, you do it on the boss that's at the end of that first the forest area, said, right? But it's not him. It's a guy that you fight at the end. And he shoots fire or something. Yeah. And so,
but can you if he hits
create
me,
a save?
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. Okay. If you get hit, load it and try again.
Okay.
Now, have you played it all with the? I know there's the thing that it gives you time to dodge. Have you played it all with the thing that dodges for you?
I did that at first, but then I was like, this doesn't even feel like I'm playing, so I switched to that thing.
Okay. You could maybe try that if you're struggling to beat the boss. I mean, I didn't, but
I was still getting, when I have that, it's not like you don't get hit.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's even better. That was one thing that happened to me a lot is almost like not trusting not the auto dodge, but the thing where it gives you the timer.
I'm getting very
Because I'm like,
good.
this thing's coming at me. I'm like, is it going to give me the thing so I can, now I can dodge? Or do I try to dodge? Because if you try to dodge on your own, you might screw it up and take damage. Whereas if you would have just let it come to you, then you would have gotten the thing. But it doesn't
always,
So,
but also, I feel like, and I'm sure you did too, just playing it and knowing the attack path, at least maybe not right when you first start fighting a new enemy or a new boss, but as I'm fighting Undertakers again and whatever, and the the Raptors, whatever, I'm getting very good at knowing the circle thing doesn't pop up for me as much as it used to. Because I know when,
because you're dodging
precision
on your own.
Dodge, boom, ding, boom, ding. I don't know why I went boom, ding, boom, ding. So is that really it? A bunch of combat stuff, all the story stuff.
So yeah, I mean, there's some random thing. There's a trophy for, which I didn't even know was a thing. You can go to the bar area at the Hideaway and buy a round of drinks for people. And
I didn't even know there was a bar. I don't think
it's over by the jukebox thing.
Oh, duh. Okay, yeah.
And so it's spend 36,000 gil on drinks at the bar, which is you can buy a round for everybody for 10,000. So just do that.
I've got 175,000. I don't, I said, I don't use my gil unless I'm buying potions.
Right. Yeah. So that's the only thing I think you have to spend gil on. There's all the combat ones. Do all the chronoglyphs, whatever they're called.
You don't have to get the songs, right?
No.
Okay. Because they're 40,000 a pop. I'm like, hell no.
Yeah. No, you don't have to do that.
Do I have to buy one? Do I have to? Okay, cool.
No. There's not really any trophies that...
I can't wait until I beat it so then I can just go to PSN profiles or go on my PlayStation and look.
That's what I did.
Well, PSN profiles, so I can see everything without having to unhide it. Because I just don't want... I've still gone, whatever it's been, 3 weeks now, 2.5. I don't know what it's been. 3 weeks. I don't know what it's been. Anyways, I haven't gotten spoiled yet. Again, I'm not on Twitter a lot anymore, which is great. But I
thought the ending was very good. There's the ending, and then the credits, and then the post credits. And I love. They do something very cool in the post credits.
Do you think we're going to get a Final Fantasy 16 too? The only game.
I don't know,
because 10 got 10-2 and 13 got 13-2 and 3, right?
They weren't called that, but basically, yeah.
Lightning Returns, Final Fantasy 13.
Yeah, they did, yeah.
But they continued the story.
Right.
I mean, I feel like once this is done, the story's going to be done, but I just love this world
15
so
got
much.
DLC to, explore some of the other characters.
And they said they're not doing any DLC with this.
Oh, did they say that? Oh, well, I don't know. I did not think we'll get a sequel, but I thought we'd probably get DLC. But if DLC's out, then maybe we will get a sequel. I don't know.
But you love how it ends.
Mm-hmm. The actual ending to the game is really good, and then the little bonus post-credit scene.
Is it just something cool, or does it
Yeah.
set up something?
No, it's just kind of a nice send-off for the game.
Okay.
I don't know. You'll see when you.
This game is just so freaking awesome. It's like I said, it's a Final Fantasy made for me. I love this world. Like I said, it's bleeding AAA. It's bleeding money. I love the characters. The voice acting is tremendous. Clive had better get nominated
He's
at the
awesome.
Game Awards for Best Performance. He's freaking amazing. And everybody, Jill, somebody I don't want to say, somebody else I don't want to say, who goes away too soon. Like there's so many characters that I just love.
I didn't even read the article because I couldn't bring myself to do it.
Let me guess, Kotaku or Polygon?
Kotaku posted something about
Jill.
Final Fantasy really fumbled it with Jill, and she could have been. I'm like, Jill was awesome. Like, did we?
I don't know
play
what
the same game?
They just write these articles because that's what they do. Like Colin was saying on Sacred Symbols, he's like, I thought the complete opposite. What are you talking? Jill is awesome. She's fully clothed. She doesn't have giant bouncing boobs that are like just cleavage everywhere. She's not a damsel in distress. You have to.
No, she's a full on.
She's a freaking badass. Like, she's awesome. And she has so much like ownership over her character and stuff. It's just like Kotaku. I wish they would. I don't want anybody to lose their jobs, but I want that site to disappear.
They suck.
It serves no purpose at all. At least Polygon, they have some good guides sometimes that when I'm searching for something, I'm like, it's Polygon, whatever. I'll click it. And usually they're pretty good. Kotaku does nothing. They don't do anything good.
Yeah.
So Jill's awesome. Final Fantasy XVI is awesome. I will have beaten it by the next time we podcast. We'll have the platinum. Probably not because we got more friends coming in town on Thursday.
I think you'll beat it. The next time you sit down to play, you'll beat it. Like you're at the end.
So that is the final. The floating thing is the final area.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say.
Because
again, I don't remember
finish
cutscenes.
Whatever it's called.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
But all I got to do is beat him
Grim
and
Reaper.
then go make it. I've got everything else. I've got all the Aura Cathalia or whatever you asked me about.
Orichalcum.
That thing. I was like, I don't know what you're saying, but I don't have it.
I think you could beat it in 2 hours, ending included. You could beat it tonight if you really wanted to.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to be able to beat it tonight because the kids have people spending the night. Obviously, they're going to want to play Fortnite upstairs and downstairs, so whatever. But yeah, I freaking love this game. If it were not for Tears of the Kingdom, this would easily be my game of the year right now.
Yeah.
It is easily my number 2 as much as I love the other games. It could end up my game of the year if it just nails the ending. I don't know, but I don't think I'm going to have... I don't think this is going to be a Breath of the Wild, Zelda's Belder again. Because I was trying to convince myself that it was game of the year. Tears of the Kingdom, I'm like, this is one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah.
Hard stop. It's freaking... Did you see people are still uncovering stuff? Like once you get to 250 hours in a save, then you can get sun pumpkins. And if you get to 400 hours, you can get these other... Like there's certain things that only spawn in the world after so many hours.
What are sun pumpkins?
Exactly. They're foods. Jesus Christ. They're foods.
Just like things you can find and cook.
Yeah, but they don't appear until you're at 250 hours. And then something else appears in the world at 400 hours. So it's like, there's probably something for 1,000 hours. I don't know. And the world is so big, who knows? But yeah, Final Fantasy is awesome. Sean.
Oh, another real quick thing.
That's fine.
That's like a nice quality of life thing that I'm glad they did. I like how your abilities, with no penalty whatsoever, you just be like, nah, give me my points back.
To respec,
I want to use them over here. Yeah, respecking. And they don't you don't get 90% of the points back. You get 100% of the points back. You don't like that? All right, get your points back, level that up instead. Like, that's such a nice...
Where even in Tears of the Kingdom, you got to spend, not that it matters, but 20 rupee.
Right,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's awesome. Everything about this game is freaking awesome, except some boring side quests. Sean, it's been a while. Do you want to get to the news of the last 2 weeks? You held it together. I don't know how you did it. But you did it. You were way too animated. It's not this. It's just... There you go. That was perfect.
I had the hands.
I don't know what to do with my arm. All right, Sean, just a couple of things to talk about here. First off, we got some more tidbits from the Xbox trial. Now, I haven't missed anything, right? They still have not freaking ruled on this. What is the judge waiting for?
I have no idea.
This is boggling my mind. I am boggled. Let me just make sure. Hey, I'm recording. Is everything okay? Okay, bye. Just saying hi. She probably thought I was playing Final Fantasy. So let's go over some more tidbits that have come out from the Xbox trial these past 2 weeks. Well, it was actually a week ago, and now we're just waiting. We found out that now we know why Sony is so worried about losing Call of Duty, because we found out that in 2021, Call of Duty on PlayStation, so PS4 and PS5, generated $800 million in revenue. That's free money. They don't have to do anything. They just have it on their system, and $800 million comes in.
That's insane.
So do you understand why they're so scared about losing COD?
Yeah.
We also found out that Horizon Forbidden West and The Last of Us Part 2 both cost over $200 million to develop. I think Horizon was $212 and The Last of Us Part 2 was $220. Last of Us Part 2, I get it, because it seems like they were making that game forever. I'm kind of surprised. I mean, not that Horizon doesn't look like a $200 million game, but that just is something about that. The Last of Us, I get it. It's Naughty Dog. It's like I've said every time we talk about it, story sucks ass, but it's a technical masterpiece.
Yeah.
But that's a lot.
That's a pretty penny.
We have also found out that Microsoft considered buying Square Enix before the launch of the Series S and X back in 2019 to try to bolster Game Pass. So really,
I like that they're just like, yeah, we thought about buying it. Like, you might have thought about the idea of buying it, but they were not going to sell. Like,
they explored.
There's no, yeah, that was
Square
never
Enix wasn't going to sell to them.
Yeah.
But now their list of 120 whatever companies that they were going to buy, it's just insane. Basically, everybody under the face of the earth. And remember, when they got into the console game, do you remember how they tried to get in to start?
Buying Sega or something?
Buying Nintendo.
Nintendo, yeah.
And they were like, ha 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 ha, good daughter. Miyamoto.
You sounded like Mario when you were laughing. It wasn't that.
It wasn't that. I don't remember how it was. Bobby Kotick, it came from him that he's been in contact with Nintendo about the next console, Switch 2, Switch HD, Switch 4, whatever they're going to call it. And he says that Nintendo's next console is targeting Generation 8 power, which is the PS4 and the Xbox One. People were like, oh, man, whatever. I think that's perfectly fine. The PS4 and the Xbox One are still running so many games that we've been playing on current gen for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
And it's in your hand. And you're going to get a new 3D mark. Like, my God, people. Like, it's running on the power of the Xbox 360 and the PS3 now, pretty much. And we got Tears of the Kingdom, where you can jump from the heavens to the surface, through a chasm. So from the highest of highs to the lowest of lows, and it doesn't load or stutter for a second.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the power. Nintendo are magicians. Damn it, I screwed up that wood. Bobby, yes, then I screwed up the wood.
You sounded like Homestar.
I screwed up that wood. What part of meet us at the stick does he not understand? Oh no, that was Strong Bad. What part of meet us at the stick does he not understand?
Yoda.
You can tell there's not a lot of news. Okay, Bobby Kotick also said, looking back, that it was a mistake to not bring Call of Duty over to Switch because he was thinking the console wasn't going to be that successful. Honestly, I think a lot of us, it's amazing to think of that now in 2023 with 6 years of hindsight.
Yeah.
Because the Switch has now sold 125 million units. But back then we were all like, this is kind of weird.
I also don't think anybody that's interested in Call of Duty has a Switch and only a Switch.
Right.
I don't know how many...
Who would choose to play Call of Duty on a Switch?
Yeah.
John in the chat with a fantastic question. I didn't even think of this. Thank you for saying it. Do you think Microsoft's attempted purchase of Square Enix ruined the relationship between the two companies?
It's an interesting question.
Because we've all pontificated that the reason that...
From our pontificases
or pontificases. This is your most laughs ever. Is that whiskey?
It's espresso.
It's espresso. Because now, like, Octopath Traveler 2 didn't come to Xbox. Octopath Traveler 1 did. No Final Fantasy games outside of Crisis Core are coming there. Live Alive didn't come there. I don't like. There's so many games, and we're all thinking, well, that's because Sony, if the Activision thing goes through, Sony's going to buy Square Enix, and then they would probably still let Square Enix put stuff on Nintendo. But I didn't even think about that with relation to Microsoft trying to buy them. With the exception of Front Mission 1 and Crisis Core, the games coming from Square Enix has dropped significantly. Yeah, exactly. Everything else is not coming to Xbox. So it could be because they're getting ready for a partnership with Sony or something, but I don't know. The Microsoft CFO, whose name I did not write down, says that making Call of Duty exclusive was never considered when she evaluated the acquisition price of $69 billion. I believe that, but then why? This goes back to, yes, Sony's a pain in the butt. They're acting like kids. Why are you doing all this? But then, by the same token, if it was never on the table, why is Phil Spencer only offer a 10-year deal? 10 years sounds like a lot, but 10 years ago, the PS4 came out. I remember getting that freaking thing for Christmas. I remember it like it was just 10 years can fly by, especially when time's a flat circle. So yeah, I believe it, but if it is true, then why didn't Phil just say, it will remain there forever, period? Yeah. We will sign a forever contract or whatever. It's just, I don't know, something doesn't add up. Microsoft, like a lot of other people, expects Sony to launch a $400 PS5 Slim this year and a PS5 Pro in the near future.
There's already a $400 PS5 Slim.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, actually, I don't know if we've even talked about this. You know what the rumors are with this thing? Have we talked about it on here? That pretty soon you're only going to be able to buy one SKU of PS5. Right now, it's almost impossible. It's been almost impossible forever to get a digital PS5 anyways. But now what they're going to go to is one model of PS5, which is essentially a digital PS5, except you can buy a separate Blu-ray 4K Blu-ray drive that connects via USB or something for like $50. So if you want to watch your Blu-rays, cool. But if you just want to download your games and stuff, cool. $400. You're done. You're good. Go.
But can you play PS5 discs, like games on this thing?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, no one knows for sure because it's all rumor and conjecture, but it's all but confirmed at this point. But yes. And then the PS5 Pro.
We don't need a PS5 Pro.
It's coming next year.
There's no need for it.
We say that now, but why the hell does Jedi Fallen Order have friggin' screen tearing everywhere? Why does performance mode on Final Fantasy XVI not buttery smooth? You know, why? I'm not going to do it. But if they were somehow to guarantee every PS5 game will run at 4K 60 with ray tracing, I'd be like, first off, I don't believe you. But second off, I might jump.
Yeah.
Problem is, I already bought my kids a PS5, so it's not like I can even give them mine and then just get another one. I'm going to be like, well, I guess I'll put one in the bedroom. I don't know. Jess would love that. Also, last thing I have here is Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella says that he would love to get rid of console exclusive games entirely. I need a PS5 Pro. Speak for yourself. See, I bet he would agree. I know the chat's going to be a little bit behind, but that's what I'm saying. Like, there is room for... I can't believe I'm saying it, but there is room for a PS5 Pro.
I don't know.
Satya Nadella would love to get rid of console exclusives. Sure, because you're hoping to buy everybody and be the only console, is what I would say to that.
Yeah.
So, those are the more tidbits we got. That's not a sentence. We got more Shiba Kamini Somakandrakran. Any thoughts on all that, Sean?
I did the hands again. I don't know what to do with my hands. No, I mean, I'm sick of hearing about this. It just accept it, kill it, whatever, but let's just move on.
I really cannot believe we haven't got a ruling yet. I don't know what the judge is doing. But whatever. Hopefully this week we'll get one. And the last item on the news list, this is a fun one. We're going to go in the Wayback Machine. We are both Sega kids, so I had to talk about this. This comes from Games Radar. A 272-page collection of documents shared by Sega Retro features 1996 financial results and sales records from Sega of America, as well as comments from company leaders about the state of the industry and the newly released, Sega Saturn. Despite a strong game library, the Saturn struggled constantly against the new PlayStation, which was the younger and cheaper console. The collection features Sega's efforts to overcome those struggles. In one email, then CEO Tom Kalinske said that in Japan, quote, "We are killing Sony. In every store, Saturn hardware is sold out, and there are stacks of PlayStations. The retailers commented they can't compare the true sales rate because Saturn sells out before they can measure it accurately," end quote. As Kalinske notes, however, that success in Japan wasn't matched in the U.S., where Sony massively outsold Sega throughout the mid-90s. As the documents move to cover brand reviews of the Saturn and other Sega consoles, it becomes clear that the company was struggling across the board. Consoles weren't making enough money, and much of the blame seems to fall on Sega sports games. Sports are a recurring theme throughout the documents, but Sega appeared in no position to compete with EA and Sony. One slide suggests the company only employed 11 people to develop and market sports titles, while its competitors' teams were several times bigger. The result was games that launched out of step with the seasonal sweet spots for franchises, including the NBA, NHL, and NFL. Notice how it doesn't say MLB, because the best baseball game ever is a Saturn exclusive. That was me editorializing. One highlight is the description of an NFL game that was 6 months behind schedule and of such low quality that it would, quote, damage the Sega brand if released. In its own brand review, Sega noted that the PlayStation was perceived as a cheaper console with better-looking games, better marketing, and a bigger budget behind it. Sega's attempts to catch up would include better TV advertising and sports games that actually launched at the right time of the year. But after the release of the N64 in '96, the company had little opportunity to turn its fortunes around. While the Saturn successor, the Dreamcast, got off to a decent start, the strength of Sony meant the PS2 dominated, and by 2001, Sega had entirely withdrawn from the console war. It's a fascinating insight into the realities of running a major game publisher, and I can't help but think of Xbox's position on the back foot in the current industry. How similar are these conversations to those happening at Microsoft over the past few years? Elsewhere, the documents are a fascinating time capsule, and I'm struck by the age and status of some of the games. Sega discusses its official tie-in with Disney's 101 Dalmatians films, suggests that it's hurting from a $250 price tag that's considered too expensive, and is skirting around the earliest days of franchises like Resident Evil and Need for Speed. The full collection is a bit dense, but this is a treasure trove for retro fans. I just had to read through this because this is amazing. This is the kind of stuff I actually want to go... And, of course, these were obtained illegally. But I'm sure Sega, since they don't make consoles now, they're like, what the hell? It's 27 years. Who cares? But it's just so funny. Do you think Tom Kalinske thought they were killing Sony? Or was he...
I do. I think he thought that. I think he thought that. I think he's very, very wrong. But I think he thought that. Stupidly.
If you haven't read Console Wars by Blake Harris, read it. Tom Kalinske saved Sega, but then what killed Sega was Sega of Japan didn't like how popular Sega of America was and Tom Kalinske, and they started overriding stuff. They forced the 32X on him. There was also, I heard on GameScoop, they were saying that in one of these documents, they're talking about how, well, right now we've got the 32X down to about $60 retail, and it comes with a free game. Can somebody look up how much it would cost us to just scrap it instead of trying to sell those for $60? Like, it's amazing. That's when we got it. It was $50 used, and they didn't even give us all the cords.
We didn't have the cord for it.
Up there. But yeah, I just thought that was amazing and something that would be fun to read through on here. As like I said, we're both Sega kids. Now it's time for the wrap up. Sean, Final Fantasy XVI, the aforementioned. Doesn't it sound? It does sound cool.
It does sound like it would be like a
sense.
final optional boss in a Final Fantasy game.
It has sold 3 million units in its first week. However, Final Fantasy 15 sold 5 million. Now, the one thing I will say about this, Final Fantasy 15 was only on PlayStation, right? It was not on Xbox?
Pretty sure.
Look that up for me. Because they're saying that, well, yeah, Final Fantasy 16 only sold 3 million because it's a PS5 exclusive. It's not on PC. It's not on Xbox. It's not anywhere else. And the PS5's been hard to find. But didn't we just hear from Sony that the PS5 is now ahead of where the PS4 was at the same point in time?
Oh, no, it was on Xbox.
It was on Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then never mind. I retract my previous statements. I thought that was an exclusive.
Maybe it was a... PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Windows, and Google Stadia.
Well, that was definitely not at the same time. Final Fantasy 15 was multi-platinum. Okay, so I was completely wrong. So then 3 million copies is awesome. I retract my statement.
Multi-platinum.
Is that what I said?
Yes.
Multi-platform. Thank you, James and John. But the Final Fantasy series as a whole, counting the Pixel remasters and 16 and everything, is now up to 180 million copies sold. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Also, still not as much, or just about as much as Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah.
Which is just insane. Jesus. Thank God we have fans in here. That definitely came through. Street Fighter VI, speaking of sales, has sold 2 million copies, which is awesome. I just don't know that I should have bought it. It's a great game. Fantastic game. I love it. I just want to play Final Fantasy XVI. It came out at the worst time. Tears of the Kingdom, Street Fighter VI, Final Fantasy XVI. And now I'm going to be on my Platinum Quest. I'm not going to stop playing this. And then I want to get back to Rogue Legacy. And then Spider-Man's going to be out and yada, yada, yada.
Mario.
Oh my God, that's Mario Sonic, which you're not going to play because you're a snob.
Isn't there something...
It came through. It came through. Sonic, do we want to also do, because they come out 3 days apart, do we want to do Sonic Sundays? Or those levels are so quick that we can't really... We could do a Sonic Sunday stream, maybe, to play through Superstars, or try to. Sonic Superstars Sunday stream. We have to do that. Or Saturday. There's 2 S's. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, there's 2 S's.
Sonic Superstars Saturday Super Stream.
Turbo. Hyper Fighting. Ultra.
Special edition.
The good folks over at From Software released some stats for Elden Ring. There have been 82 million battles in the Coliseum. I have never tried this.
I haven't either.
Because I'll just die. I know that. They talked about the most used gestures. I don't. I could not care. I don't even know how to do... I do the ones that are there at the beginning. Like... Or whatever. Yeah. I spawn into somebody to help them fight Melania. 38.6 million rebirths. So 38.6 million times someone has respect their character.
Oh, that's what that means?
It has not sold that many copies, so a lot of people have done it multiple times.
Multiple.
Total atonements, 526,843 atonements. Your sins are absolved. What the hell is an atonement? I saw this and I was like, well, I'm not one of them. I don't even know what this is.
I don't remember.
Because look at the picture. They're like standing with all these like goddess statues from Zelda. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I can't remember. I don't think it was anything I ever did, but...
11.7 million players acquired the Dark Moon Greatsword. A moon greatsword bestowed by a Carian queen upon her spouse to honor long-standing tradition, one of the legendary armaments. I don't think I got this. Like, look at it. Do you recognize that? Because I just used the katana. I didn't care about any other weapons.
Well, there was a trophy for getting all of these, like, special weapons. That may have been one of them.
Well, then I got it, I guess.
I think it was. You probably got it.
And then the most felled enemies. Number 5. Oh, this is way too small. Let me zoom in here. Number 5, the demi-human with the curved sword and shield. Number 4, the albunaric with a curved sword. Number 3, exiled soldier with a crossbow. Oh, I haven't even been saying how many. So it was 3 billion, 3.4 billion, 4 billion. And then number 2, the putrid corpse magic, 8.9 billion. I don't even recognize that enemy. Then number 1 was the albunaric with a club, 9.4 billion. And if
they have pictures?
That's the guy that if you spawn to that one place where you can just go through and kill like 20 of them and they don't even attack because they're sleeping. So basically, everybody used these enemies to go and just bump up their to grind and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you recognize that red thing?
Not really, no.
I've forgotten so much about this game. I want to do a new save, but I know it won't be bad. If you want to play a new PSVR 2 game, check out Synapse. I've heard really good things about Synapse. My poor PSVR 2. My poor wallet, I should say. Y'all should do a sub-series of verses that puts Sonic against Mario. That's not fair.
Yeah, Mario would.
I have thought about doing that. Like, what's the best Sonic Mania against what's the best Super Mario World? But Mario's going to win everything. It's going to win presentation, gameplay, and replay value. Or fun factor, sorry.
You'd have to go 3, 4, 5 Marios down from the top before you finally found one that even like Sonic Mania would
Sonic
be.
Mania versus Mario 1, I still don't know. I mean, it would win presentation, but gameplay, that's Mario. Fun fact,
yeah.
Probably
Mario World, Mario 3, Mario Maker, new Mario U.
I love the new Mario.
They're all better than Sonic Mania.
Yeah. But Sonic Mania is the best Sonic.
By far, yeah.
I can't wait for Superstars. Sean's not going to buy it, apparently. Xbox has confirmed that it will be at Gamescom. I don't know why this is news. Didn't we say this already that they said they were going to be at Gamescom?
I don't know. I can't keep track.
Do you say Gamescom or Game Scom?
Game Scom.
Sonic sucks. He deserves it. Damn it, James.
What happened to Sonic? Oh, poor Sonic.
Well, he's lying dead over there. That's true. We're Sega kids, and I took him off the table. Tokyo Game Show will apparently be its, quote, largest ever this year. Some exhibitors include Bandai Namco, Capcom, Xbox, and Konami. So my question is, and I think it's in September.
His foot backwards.
Before he broke his leg. My question is, I wonder when they're going to start actually, and this is not me being stupid, I just wonder when they're going to actually start giving out real info about Snake Eater. Like, when are we going to see actual gameplay? When are we going to
not
know
yet.
about the control scheme? I still say it's out next year. It's the 20th anniversary is next November 17th.
I mean,
we've been talking about this remake, not me just pontificating out of my tuchus, but I'm saying the rumors that Virtuous Studios was working on Metal Gear Solid 3 remake were in 2021. So we've been talking about this project.
But is that even? But
yes,
they're
working on it with Konami. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I really think it's only about a year away, but we'll see. Spider-Man 2 is getting its own panel at Comic-Con, and there will be some reveals coming. I don't want to know. I don't need to know. Spider-Man, they revealed. Remember the first Spider-Man 2018? Do you remember how many trailers we got for that game? It was like Kojima levels of trailers.
Yeah.
By the time Phantom Pain came out, we had almost seen every cutscene in the game because there wasn't a lot. And it was like that Spider-Man just gave everything away. Don't give everything away about 2. Capcom is reportedly, quote, discussing the future, end quote, of non-numbered Resident Evil remakes, which is giving hope to people to get their Code Veronica remake.
It needs it. That should be the next one.
Resident Evil 1 needs a remake. I know it got a remake, but it needs a remake like these games got remakes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love Code Veronica because I've never played it. And I'm dead ass not going to go back and try to play it now. Capcom is also, quote, considering how to approach, end quote, making new Mega Man games. I think their approach is going to be they're not. Because they put out Mega Man 17 or whatever it was. What was that? 13 Mega Man?
Like the NES style?
No, that was 9 and 10. 11. That's what comes next. I couldn't remember what the games were on Wii at first. They put out 11. Are they going to do Mega Man 12? I don't know.
If they did, I mean, I like what they did with 9 and 10 and maybe 11.
No,
was 11 like that too?
No.
Well, I was going to say is they should give it like the Nintendo treatment. Like, that was cool, but like make a new Metroid just like they're doing a new Mario. Reimagine it a little bit, but 2D. Don't go crazy. Don't go 3D. Don't do just 2D platformer Metroid, but brought into like, what did I say?
You keep saying Metroid.
A lot?
Yes.
Yeah, Mega Man, the other one.
No, but also the other thing I think would be cool if you think back to the X games after they left Super Nintendo when they went to like PlayStation and Saturn and stuff, and then PS2. I think X8 was on PS2. Those games got wild. It would be cool to see an X game like X9 on the PS5 and the Xbox.
But this is exactly what I want not them, but Konami to do with like
Castlevania.
Well, I was going to say Contra, but like don't stray too far from what works. Just make it new. Make it ridiculously, like, it's not a complicated game. You can make it be beautiful, but just the whatever works, the formula.
Yes,
you don't have to stray from that. Just, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh well. Kotaku, speaking of bad websites, is reporting that Ass Creed Black Flag is getting a remake, but it won't be out for a few years. This is one of those where I'm like, I don't know that. Why would this game need a remake? It was on PS4 and Xbox One. Why does it need a remake? It's like, why does Horizon Zero Dawn need a remake? It doesn't. I will not buy that. I will not spend $70 on that. That's ridiculous. This game doesn't need a remake either. They're just going to do it because people say it's the best. Well, a lot of people say it's the best Assassin's Creed game that there is. NBA 2K24 cover athlete is Kobe Bryant. It will be getting crossplay for the first time. It amazes me that he hasn't. Not that I think people should capitalize on tragedy. I guess I'm just kind of surprised that they haven't done it yet. That it took him 3 years after he passed,
Yeah.
But Noah will definitely want that game. He loves 2K. EA announced just today that they are working on a Black Panther game from Cliffhanger Games. It will be an original third-person single-player game. Thank you. Will it be good? Who knows? But we're going to get to the point. People have superhero movie fatigue. Oh, yeah, I saw Across the Spider-Verse. Freaking awesome. People have superhero fatigue when it comes to movies. We're about to be getting to that point when it comes to video games, too.
Yeah.
Why did Last of Us 1 need a remake? Money. True. Okay, well, they both came out the same year, 2013. But I will say, I would think Assassin's Creed Black Flag plays a lot better than The Last of Us did.
Probably, yeah.
Red Dead Redemption has been raided in South Korea. Remember, a remaster was reportedly in the works at one point in time. Gotta think it's coming. Is Red Dead Redemption... Sorry, I never went back to 2. I couldn't do it. Anyone who says Black Flag is the best AC game isn't a real AC fan. Also, Kobe was on the cover of 2K21. Okay, never mind. So they didn't wait any time at all. Oh, well, no, that would have been before he died, because that would have come... No, he died in 2020. So, yeah, that would have come out... Yeah, okay. So they did do it right after he died. James, you're hitting me with the fact checks. I appreciate it. Oh, the Mamba edition. The Mamba edition. So not the regular edition, but I appreciate the... We need to have a You're Wrong segment like Colin does.
There would be a lot.
There would be a lot. You're wrong for farting in the microphone. Red Dead Redemption... Oh, I already said that. I'm more willing to play a remake or remaster of this game than I am to go back to Red Dead 2. I just cannot get through the opening of that game. It is so friggin' boring and slow and no cars. Can't do it. Wasn't Last of Us 60 frames per second on the PS4? I don't think so. But also, the PS4 didn't get a lot of 60 frames game.
Yeah.
But also, they didn't fix the controls at all, and that was the biggest problem with that game. Stray is finally coming to Xbox on August 10th. Baldur's Gate 3 on PS5 has been delayed until September. I would think most people would just play it on PC anyways. Jesus, Sean. And there may need to be further compromises made to get it on Xbox. Remember they said the co-op on Series S was like impossible or something. I didn't think The Last of Us needed a remake. I will say this, though. This is the last thing I'll say about The Last of Us. Part 2 sucks. But this is the last thing I'll say. Part 1, if you go play The Last of Us on PS3 or PS4, play it for an hour. And then, like, if you rent from GameFly or something, you rent Last of Us Part 1 and play it, you'll be like, oh, okay, I get it. I'm not saying it should have been $70. I'm not going to defend that. It probably should have been $40. But I think the controls alone, it's like Metal Gear Solid 3. The controls need to be fixed. Disney Speedstorm is confirmed to be a free-to-play game, and it is launching in September. That will flop. Mortal Kombat 2 has started filming. Did you see the logo for this? It looks pretty cool.
I don't think I saw the logo.
Did you see the thing? The picture the director did it's got the logo down there at the bottom and it looks really cool.
Is it just called Mortal Kombat 2?
So far, yeah. Games with Gold were announced for July, and they are something called Darkwood and something called When the Past Was Around. Again, you have Game Pass. Just stop with the Games with Gold. This is pathetic. It ran at 1080 60 frames on base PS4. Okay. But again,
you're wrong.
Damn it, James. That's like 3 corrections now. But again, you can't correct me on this. The controls sucked. Well, they didn't suck. They weren't great. PS Plus Essentials were also announced for July, and they are a million times better, as they always are. The games are Call of Duty, Black Ops, and these are all on PS4 and PS5, so that's cool. Black Ops Cold War, Alan Wake Remastered, Endling Extinction is Forever. I don't know what that is, but with the first 2, they win. I know Call of Duty, I know Cold War is almost 3 years old at this point. It's still cool to get a COD game. Now, I don't know how many people are still playing it, but it's cool. And then Alan Wake Remastered, that may be a good game.
I want to check that out.
If I can get the platinum, once I get the platinum, and then if there's nothing else coming out. Oh, that Double Dragon game, I don't
know how I feel about that.
I keep, the more I think about it with the whole roguelite structure that it has.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Because there's 4 main stages with 4 main gangs, and depending on the order you pick them, different things change in the levels after that. It might be fun, but if it's more than like $20, I probably won't get it. But yeah, I would like to play Alan Wake Remastered because Alan Wake 2 comes out in October. That is it for this episode of the Two Player Co-op Podcast. Thank you all so much for being here and listening or watching wherever you do that. Until the next time, Sean, go ahead and take us out.
Thank you for playing.